I'm Andi Last, executive producer for the Your Money, Your Wealth podcast. And for 499 episodes of YMYW, Joe Anderson CFP and Big Al Clopine CPA have been making fun of finance. Thanks for joining me for episode 500, where we're celebrating the top funniest moments from the YMYW podcast, volume 2. Check out episode 300 from back in November of 2020 for volume 1. For this episode, I've compiled some rare, never-before-seen, can't-miss derails, jokes, stories, screw-ups, and outtakes from two talking heads sitting at a desk. That is to say, we appreciate you following, watching, laughing, and commenting on YouTube or on Spotify. But if you're listening in Apple Podcasts or another podcast app, you will laugh just as much. First up, Joe and Big Al explain how to send in your money questions.
Go to yourmoneywealth.com, click on Ask Joe and Al on the air.
You want to emphasize that, huh? People call you the wrong name sometimes?
Sometimes, Al. And Andy, God bless. You must have older brothers.
I do, Joe and Big Al.
Did you just call me John?
I did not. I said Joe and Big Al.
Or Joel?
Joel, John.
Jackass. Love your show. You both are very funny.
Wow.
Big Al, you're so funny. You're so funny. Love your...
Can you imagine how funny the show would be without you?
Oh, it would be way more funnier. I don't even know if that's a right sentence. Is that just terrible grammar?
Totally.
It was just...
But that's what makes it so funny.
It was like more funner.
Way more funnier.
way funnier.
Funnier.
Way funnier.
Let's move on. Love the subtle snarkiness.
Are we snarky? Well, you are.
You're unsubtly snarky.
Nice. I drive a 2017 Volkswagen Jetta. More funnier. It's not more fun.
We know what you mean.
It's terrible. People listen to this. It's like, this guy is a complete imbecile. If they still write in and they still want to listen.
People switch stations and they hear you that it's more funnier.
Oh my God. It's just like, oh, the guy actually said that and he manages finances for a living.
Well, I'm good with money. It's not words.
It's just embarrassing that I have to read all this crap out loud.
But that's why we love the show.
Okay. I drive. When's the last time you listened to it?
It's been a while.
I don't know how you continue to do this because I just butcher names. Here, Andy, Joe, and Al. Or Big Al. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's get it right.
Sorry, Big. Got Alberto from... You said it with a little bit differently. Is it Alberto?
Gilberto.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I knew
that was coming.
I'm guessing. I'm hoping that's close based on my high school Spanish.
Yes. I make fun of the questions themselves. Thanks for the great show. Longtime listener. I enjoy Joe's jokes and Big Al's wisdom. Joe's jokes.
Yeah, I got good jokes. You're the funny man.
Man, yeah, you're the straight guy.
I'm the wisdom guy.
I won't bore you with cars or drinks. Whoa.
That's the only part Joe likes.
I know. You're boring me with all your financial garbage. Yeah, I want to enjoy, just visualizing what these people look like, what they like to drive, what they like to drink.
Yeah.
Then you feel like they're right there with us, Al.
Right.
Josie writes in from Atlanta. Listen to YMYW in the shower.
That might be a first.
While getting ready for work. Thank you. Wow, interesting. Just trying to get...
You like to picture where they are.
There we go. All right. Josie, thank you. We got Alyssa from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Hey, Andy, Big Al, Joe. I've been listening to the show for about a year and enjoy it very much. I often listen to it while drying my hair or on the drive to work, and I always find it entertaining and educational. Drying your hair.
That's a first, I think.
I don't know how you listen to a podcast with a hairdryer going.
I mean, I think this is the best podcast to listen to while you're drying your hair.
I think you're right. Because if you only catch about every 10 words, it's good enough.
It's good. It's perfect. I have access to planning tools in no cost consultation with an intelligent and attentive CFP.
Okay, well, that's good.
Oh, he's probably really handsome or beautiful.
Yeah, when I first saw that, that's what I thought, intelligent and attractive. But then I saw, attentive. Okay.
Can you share how a mutual fund portfolio would work in retirement? For example, I have 500, is that 500,000?
Yeah, 500,000.
All right, $500,000 and withdraw 5,000 in a year.
50,000.
What? There's no commas.
I know, it makes it harder.
Like,
let's see, it's 5 with how many zeros? 1.
Yeah, 1, 2.
Yeah, the commas do help us. I will say that.
The humor and mispronunciation, which while intentional, is amusing.
Yeah, spelled wrong.
So, Joe, is it intentional, the mispronunciation?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm a very terrible reader.
But that's what makes it fun.
I'm embarrassed. I could never listen to this program.
Yeah, but if I read the questions, we wouldn't have any listeners. It would be pretty boring.
But I should prep.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I could read them like 6 or 7 times, and then it would just flow.
Just practice in the car. Oh. How am I going to read this without pausing?
Yes, I'm going to tape myself reading the email questions and just listen to it.
I'll get better and better.
Yeah, I will get better.
5th time I did it before.
But this is, I'm getting a lot better when I would read anything.
Well, I remember in the early days, you didn't read anything.
It's terrible.
I read the true false questions.
Yeah, I was like, you go for it, Al. Got Christine from Seattle. Joe's an acquired taste, but happily a taste I've acquired. Huh.
Yeah, it takes a while to warm up.
You know, it just takes a couple of episodes, and then you fall in love, right?
Yeah,
it's just like, except for that one guy who's like, yeah, I've subscribed and unsubscribed 10 times. I just can't do it. Something just draws me back. But then Flip It Anderson,
all right,
makes me unsubscribe and give you a 1-star review. Yeah, I've been told that, so I appreciate that, Christine. It can be a little hard to follow when he and Al process out loud, but they either gotten better at summarizing or have gotten better at tracking. I don't know. I think she's tracking better.
That's what I think too.
Right. She's acquired the taste, but she's tracking.
Right.
She gets it. She doesn't even know she's getting smarter.
Yeah.
As soon as I start being annoying, it's like, wow, clicks.
Right.
No, to contact us form on the website wouldn't submit for me. Imagine that.
So
surprise.
Website sucks. Maybe it's their browser.
Could be.
Oh my God. I just sounded like an IT guy.
Who is in this room with me?
Yeah. Browser. Chrome.
Do you have any other ideas why it doesn't work?
Maybe it's the Chrome.
Maybe it's an Apple book instead of a PC.
Yeah, maybe. Is it hashtag?
Maybe you should clear your cache.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, you got to clear your cache. Right? Something like that. Okay. Don't change a thing.
Ooh.
I prefer to be entertained as I learn. Said we're changing anything.
Well, I think Ninja and others made you question your style, maybe.
Well, I was just going to retire. Seeing as this is the Backdoor Roth show.
Have you thought of changing the name from Your Money, Your Wealth to the Backdoor Roth?
I thought, let's just answer you a question instead of doing my own research. All right, Jared, that's what we're here for. We'll do the research for you, free of charge, because we're the Backdoor Roth guys. I made a call last year to Stan the Annuity Man.
That's a great name. We should get some attention like that.
I gotta get Stan the Annuity Man on here, man.
What can we do with Joe and Al?
We'll figure
and to get on it. We'll come up.
Okay, I'm working on it.
Oh, that is catchy.
It is.
And he said,
even I want to meet him.
Well, you guys are the Roth brothers. You do have that.
Yeah, but that
it's not
doesn't rhyme.
Stan the Annuity. Rolls right
yeah,
up
we got to do better than that.
We take pride in this. It's not like just off the shelf advice.
All right.
But this is zero advice here.
Right.
Brent the Fan. Hey guys, can you spitball for me? Damn right, Brent the Fan, we can. So he could have $4.5 million in a retirement account. Of course, all hypothetically.
Sure.
This is just totally a spitball.
Yeah.
Right? This is a big, juicy one, right?
The most important ingredient in any good retirement recipe is the retirement plan itself. But you've got 14 different types to choose from. So what are the best ingredients for your unique recipe for retirement? In this week's brand new episode of Your Money, Your Wealth TV, Joe Anderson, CFP, and Big Al Clopine, CPA, outline the characteristics, the benefits, and drawbacks of defined contribution plans, defined benefit plans, and equity compensation. Whether you're a worker, a self-employed small business owner, or a management or executive type, they'll break down your options from 401ks and IRAs to pensions and cash balance plans. From solos, SEPs, and simples to RSUs, NSOs, and ISOs and ESPPs. Learn about all the acronyms and ingredients that can go into your recipe for retirement. Click the link in the episode description to watch Your Money, Your Wealth TV right after this episode. Sometimes listener questions just completely derail Joe and Big Al, and YMYW turns into story time.
Hello, Joe, Al, and Andy. It's Brian from Queens, New York, chilling in the 2012 Honda Odyssey minivan.
Right.
That's what you have.
That's what I used to have when I went through my midlife
When you
crisis.
had your midlife?
Which is about your age now. So I expect to see you any day in a red convertible.
Did that make you feel better?
Oh, way. And I got the baseball cap. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. It was.
Did you feel like Tom Selleck?
It was 42 degrees and I had the top down, the heat all the way up, parka. It was awesome.
You were one of the guys that had the top down with the windows up and the heat on.
Yeah, that was me. That's right. Only in the summer I put the windows down.
So it changed your life. The midlife was.
I've got my Zen now because of it. I went through that period. I survived.
How long did it take you to get through it?
20 years.
Okay. My first question. You guys had Paul Merriman on the show. Yeah, like 400 years ago. That was when
episode 1.
That was when Al was in the heat of his midlife crisis.
Yeah, I don't even remember those days.
Al would show up to the show with wavy hair.
It was straight back.
He was freezing. I was like, why are you so cold?
I finally pulled out my parka when was after the heat kicked in the studio.
I'm driving a little 2018 Jetta with 32,000 miles, which is my fifth leased and or purchased Jetta since 1985.
Did you ever own a Jetta?
Big fan of the Jetta there.
Yeah.
Gay Jetta man.
I actually did own a Jetta once.
I didn't. I've never owned a Volkswagen.
I also owned a Volkswagen Rabbit. That was my first car out of college.
Isn't that convertible?
No. No.
Isn't that the Can't Buy Me Love car?
No.
You've probably never seen that movie. You should watch this
movie. You're thinking
movie.
of the Volkswagen Bug, aren't you?
No.
No?
It's a Rabbit. You've never seen Can't Buy Me Love, have you?
No.
But Patrick Dempsey, since you're a Hugh Grant fan, you'd probably love this show. It's like a rom-com.
Here, let me jot that down. I'm gonna watch
text
it
you later. Can't Buy Me Love. Yeah, and the girl he's got a crush on, she had a little convertible Volkswagen Rabbit, and then like every girl that ever seen that movie wanted to have a Volkswagen Rabbit convertible.
I can tell you when I bought a Volkswagen Rabbit, which was in the
90s,
early 80s.
Oh wow, you're before your time, Al.
Well, I was way before everyone else's time, apparently. So, but there was no convertible at that point. It was just a hardtop.
Yeah.
But so that was something that happened later, apparently.
Yeah. I went to high school in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so that was a big deal.
Yeah, the convertible. Yeah.
Yes.
Rabbit.
Convertible Rabbit.
Got it.
Right? Andy, you probably.
I don't know the movie. I don't know what you're talking about. I just had to Google the car to see what you're talking about. And I'm going to take issue with you saying that you went to high school in the 90s.
I did.
You and I are about the same age. I graduated in 91.
I was a lot later than that.
Okay.
92.
That's 90s, right?
That's 90s.
Yep.
Okay.
Right?
What?
It's not the 70s.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
You could have said 80s out or 90s and you would have been correct.
90s. I got a 2-year-old son.
That's a whole other topic. How old will you be when he's in high school?
He's in high school. Oh my God.
That's a whole other calculation.
Yeah. Jeff, Joe and Al, greetings from sunny Singapore. Singapore.
Oh. Have you ever been?
International program here. Global. No,
Right.
never been.
Me neither. My son's Rob's been.
I've been out of the U.S. like twice,
Mexico,
maybe 3 times. If you,
Mexico, Canada, and
Yes.
what's the other one?
I've been to Canada a couple of times because I'm from Minnesota.
Bahamas.
Yeah, I've been to the Bahamas once when I went to when I was in Florida,
Sure.
and I went to London.
Oh, you went way across the Atlantic.
Yes,
Look at that.
Yeah, I went to London for like a week.
Okay.
But that's about it.
I didn't know you're such an international traveler.
It's crazy, isn't it? My passport is out of control.
One step, maybe 2.
Oh boy!
Have you been to Canada?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
As a kid.
Oh yeah, because of Minnesota.
Yeah, we would go fishing.
Sure.
We'd take these little flying in cabins.
Yeah.
Take like the planes land on the water.
Sure. Yeah, that would be not very much fun, I don't think.
You catch a ton of fish.
I'm sure,
but
because no one else is doing it.
Exactly, you're the only ones.
Right.
You have this whole thing to these lakes to yourself. But that was in high school, and I haven't been fishing since.
Got it.
Because you're spoiled, right? You throw a line and you're catching all these walleye, and
Right. Aren't you freezing?
No, it's summer.
Oh, it's summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Freezing. I'm not ice fishing in a.
I thought you said you land on a lake.
Yeah, an airplane does because it's remote.
Oh, it's pontoons. Okay.
It's an airplane that lands on a lake.
No, I understand.
But it's not a pontoon.
Don't you call those pontoons? What do you call it? What do you call that? Not
a pontoon is what you sit and party on. I don't think pontoons fly.
I don't know what you call that. The kind of plane that lands on water.
Yes.
We'll have to look that up.
Have you ever seen Fantasy Island?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the plane.
Yeah, tattoo.
All right, let's get back to Jeff. I have a question regarding the stacking of pontoon.
There's a name for those funny things they put on the planes.
I suppose. I mean, maybe instead of wheels.
It's called a seaplane.
I know, but
float plane?
The attachment that goes on the wheel.
Oh, actually, those with separate pontoons or floats as float planes. So there you go.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's a pontoon. Okay.
So you party on those things. Huh?
Yes, I do.
Those little things that go on the wheel.
Yes. Yeah. I got an oar, 6-pack of Coors Light. Just sit
on your lap.
Yeah.
Got it.
We got Ship of Fools.
It's a good name.
Sounds intriguing.
Wonder where he's going with that.
I'm planning to take 5 to 10 years off of full-time work and sail to Eastern U.S., Bahamas, Caribbean, etc. All right. So he bought a sailboat, or she bought a sailboat. Ship of Fools bought a sailboat.
Yeah.
I plan to travel and live on the cash. This reminds me of this guy I met in Hawaii named Hans.
Hans. Okay.
So I was in Hawaii for my buddy Mikey Martin's return trip from out at sea. Right.
Sure.
So Danny, Mike's wife, and I went out to meet with him and her family.
Yeah.
And so we rented this house on the beach, and this guy lived next to this house, and his name was Hans.
Got it. Okay.
And he was just a nomad. And he
lived very cheap.
Oh, very cheap. And what he would do is paddleboard all day. And he was a traveling nurse, right? So he was in healthcare.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, I work when I want to work, and I can go in here part-time. And he's like, I haven't really worked in 20 some odd years. The guy was like probably 60 something, and it just ripped in great shape. Just the happiest guy.
Living the life he wanted.
Yeah. But he was odd. He was a little odd. Maybe Ship of Fools is a little odd. But he brought me to his little hut, right? So he had this tiny little house. And he's like, yeah, here, come in. I'm going to show you my place. And then so I'm walking up the stairs to his little like room. And there's these pictures of like this naked lady that was like 70-year-old pictures, like in the 70s, with like Farrah Fawcett hair.
Yeah.
Like, totally naked. And I was like, Hans, whoa, what's going on here? Who's this? He's like, oh yeah, that's my ex-wife. And there's like 5 pictures, huge paintings.
Huge. Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get the hell out of here, Hans.
It's creeping me out.
It's creeping me out a little bit. Joe and Al walk into a trendy high-end lounge. Joe buys drinks for 4 beautiful women next to him and sitting down at the bar. All right. The women then get up and sit at the table with the big man, Al Clopine.
Well, I will say I am married, but
So's Joe.
Yeah, so am I. I don't understand what the reference was. It because of something we said in the TV show?
No, I think it's just because you have the reputation historically as being a player.
Ah, got it. He's listening to some older episodes. I think.
apparently, yeah.
I got an interesting email here. It goes, Joe, you might not remember me, but we hooked up one night in Atlanta.
Ooh, this could get steamy. Sure, you want to read this?
I lived in Atlanta, Georgia.
I know. That's why I'm thinking this is
Like 20 years ago.
Blast from your past.
20 some odd years ago, right? While we were talking.
That's probably in quotes.
That's what it says.
I know.
While we were talking, you mentioned the importance of diversifying investments. So when I started investing into IRA accounts, I set up a new account each month to put the money into.
Okay.
That's pretty good, smart move there.
Set a new account up every month.
Every month.
Because you got to diversify.
You got to diversify. The problem is, since I now have over 200 accounts, it's going to take a long time and effort to get them all transferred. Is there an easier way to do this?
Wow. 200 accounts.
What the? This is so strange. I've got 9 cats and a neurotic paranoid beagle.
Okay.
I drive a 97 Toyota Prius and live in Portland. I've signed this Helen Wheels since you sang that song to me at the karaoke bar because my name is Helen. Since you never called me after that night, I hope you will be willing to make it up to me by helping me out with my situation. Wow.
Yeah, you didn't call her back.
Yeah, we're singing karaoke.
Or karaoke.
Did you say karaoke or karaoke?
Yeah, karaoke.
Andy?
Karaoke.
Karaoke?
Karaoke. Yes.
Karaoke?
You say karaoke?
I don't know.
Tomato?
Who
cares?
Give me that.
But I love the fact that you hooked up with somebody and then talked to her about diversifying her investments. That might explain why you're still single.
Could be. Yeah. You know, we're just.
Was that before or after you hooked up?
I don't know who Helen Wheels is. I would 9 cats, a paranoid dog, drives a Prius.
Yeah, but that was.
This is how Helen is now.
Different animals.
Yeah, well, this is what I did to Helen. Right. She had to move to Portland and get a bunch of cats.
Because you never called her back.
Never called her back.
And she had to manage her 200 accounts.
Yes, I am so sorry about this situation. Yeah, it would be good to see Helen.
You have a good karaoke voice?
Oh, yeah.
He's much better as a dancer, I think.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm not a singer. I'm a dancer.
I will vouch for that.
Yeah. These hips don't lie, Al.
I've seen you dance, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
For an hour straight thinking, when is this going to end?
Dude, I got a routine.
I know.
I practice it in the mirror.
It actually was really good.
Yeah. I was dancing one time at a little party. This one guy goes, there's no way he doesn't practice that.
It just comes naturally.
It does.
To you. Yeah.
Right. You get a nice little music and you start dancing. I'm sure a lot of people like that.
Not too many that I know of.
Color me sad.
Don't be sad.
Color me bad.
It's okay to send us an email.
That used to
I knew
be
you were going to say that.
favorite group of all
Really?
time. Color me bad.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And what was their hit song?
What? I want to sex you up.
That's the one.
Right.
Al, did you know that?
So good.
I missed that whole group.
What?
I was
You
probably
got to
raising
be in
kids.
our age group.
Wow. Color me bad. Man, I would be dancing to that.
Was that like a one-hit wonder band?
I don't
Yes.
think so. I like every single song that Color Me Bad came out with.
all 7 of them?
They were so good. Great album.
Got it.
Yeah, the guy, oh man, like parachute pants,
Really?
With the little beady, like
Was
John Lennon.
Was he the lead singer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. You got to have style if you're the lead singer.
Wow, you really did know this group, didn't you,
Oh,
Joe?
yeah, I dressed just like him in high school.
You still do sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
We go to parties, parachute pants. It's like, where'd that come
Yeah.
from? Now I know.
Little half shirt,
Yeah.
gold chains.
Singing
it's
I
like
Want to
a-
Sex You Up.
Yeah, just yelling.
Now I know to stay away from you when you're in that outfit.
We got Ricky writes in from Alabama. Is this Ricky? Ricky runs real fast.
That's Ricky.
Oh, that Ricky.
Ricky steals bases.
Ricky Henderson for all you out there.
Oh, I love Ricky Henderson. Ricky.
Always talked in the third person,
Oh.
and you just love that, don't you?
It's one of my biggest pet peeves of all time because I only like it when Ricky Henderson did it.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, but anyone else can't do it.
Ricky runs real fast. I am a 1099 while she is a W-2. Is that how you refer yourself? I'm a 1099.
Yeah, and she's a W-2.
You go to a little cocktail party.
Yeah.
What are you, W-2? I'm a 1099. What's up?
Is that what you do? First question?
Yeah,
The cocktail party? You 1099?
Yeah, 1099?
1099?
You kind of look like a 1099.
That's kind of risky behavior. You're W-2, kind of more steady, slow as she goes.
I know. We are savers. Fire people. Oh, boy.
Financial independence, retire early.
Oh, yeah. 1099er.
Yeah.
I save about $280,000 a year.
Wow. I've never saved that much.
Yeah. That's more than people make in a lifetime. We currently, wow, I've never saved that much. That's Big Al talking. He's got the biggest wallet I've ever seen.
That's a little rich for even me.
I'm a 1099. Oh, God, I keep going back to that. That's funny. FIRE, financial independence, retire early.
Love the concept. Don't you want?
No.
Everyone wants to do that.
I hate the concept, to be
Not
honest
me.
with you.
You need more hobbies.
I don't think I'd really. I mean, I've never met a fire guy that I.
Joe, you haven't met many of people that you really like.
It's like I'm saving 85% of my income. I'm living in a tent down by the river, so I can retire at 45, and I got like $8 million.
Well, I'm not saying I want to do it. I'm saying I think it's cool. Because you know why? Because you have more control and freedom over your life.
You're FI,
Yeah.
but why aren't you RE?
Because I like the non-RE.
Oh, got it.
You're right. I am FI.
He couldn't
Yeah,
stay
you are
away from
fine.
you, Joe.
Yeah. Well, you're not RE. You're RO,
What's that?
retired old.
Retire old.
Yeah. I suppose. Or RVO, retire very old.
You're not going to get anywhere near stock market like returns
Sure.
with no downside risk. So, but the salespeople out there, let's see if you go to, the steak dinner ones, the chicken sandwich or the chicken dinners.
Yeah, steak dinner,
Steak
whatever.
dinners, yeah. You and I used to do those for TD Ameritrade.
We did.
Wasn't that the worst existence of
It
our
was
lives?
not fun. We stopped it.
Oh my God, people just yell at you. It's like, but right, you can get these invitations. A lot of people get invitations. They go every single night,
Sure.
right? And then this is
Free
what they're
dinner.
gonna- it's a free dinner, right? And they're good places too.
Yeah, and you'd see a lot of the same people. And
Yeah, exactly.
next
the
month when you
circuit.
did it. Oh,
circuit.
okay. I remember you.
I watched this movie and I forget the name of it. Harrison Ford's in it. You like Harrison Ford?
I do.
Oh, this is
I'll probably know
This
it.
is another rom-com,
I might.
and it's Ryan Reynolds' wife. What's her name? Anyone?
Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Yeah.
I need more than that. Andy will look it up.
Anyway.
Blake Lively.
Yes. Thank you, Blake
Okay.
Lively.
No, don't
So
know.
she gets in a car accident, and then she stops aging at the age of 23.
No, I didn't. I don't know that one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
missed that one.
That's a doozy.
Okay. Let me
So
jot
she
that
looks
one
the same, right? And then all of a sudden, everyone, like her daughter, looks like a real old lady, and she still looks super hot.
down. Got it.
But I mean, she's miserable because she can't have long-term relationships and
Got
everything
it.
because they're like, oh my God, why didn't she age?
Yeah, right.
So
Okay. Well, that's
anyway.
handy.
What
for
is
this.
that?
But what I'm saying is that everyone wants to keep their youth,
Yes. Right.
but be careful what you wish for.
No, true.
Because all your good friends and everyone else dies around you, because when you're 40,
Wait. What are you going to say now?
Nothing. I don't know. I mean, right? I mean, there's a lot of things. If I retire tomorrow,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm going to spend way more money than if I was working.
you would. I know that.
Right? Because
And plus-
spend your money. You spend your money on the weekends.
And if you retire tomorrow, I will see you in 3 months. Al, can I have my job back?
Probably 3 weeks.
I'm with the 2-year-old, and I
Oh my God.
I can't do this.
Yeah. I'm going to say, you know what? One day I'm going to, it's like, go pound sand. I'm out of here.
So Rosie said, you know what? Since Joe, you're staying home, I'm going to go back to work.
Yeah.
Well,
She's working.
I know, but she's going to go.
Yeah.
She's going big.
Oh, she's
going
going to go
big.
huge.
You're not going to see her much.
Yeah. She's going to travel. Yeah. I'd be miserable. I'd be a couch drunk or something. I don't know what the hell I'd do.
Well, one good thing, you have a shorter life expectancy, so you wouldn't run out of money.
Yeah, exactly. I would be, right. But at 40, I mean, right. I'm not a fire guy. I'm going to retire old.
Or very old.
Yeah. I enjoy what I do. So, but if you're like, man, that's so many years of, all right, well, here, I'm going to travel. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do all of that stuff costs a lot of money.
Yes, it
But
does.
I suppose if you're fired, you do all the coupon stuff too, right? You probably get all the deals.
Well, you do the last minute cruise thing where the $10,000 cruise costs $1,800.
Yeah, you go on Spirit Airlines.
That's right. And you smuggle in a thing of water.
Yeah, right. No, and I mean I don't travel that often, but I gotta at least get leg room. I'm a big guy.
Well, what if you're shorter? You could get away with it.
I suppose.
I mean, you could. You'd have to get 2 seats. It would blow the whole thing.
'Tis the season, Alan.
It is. Love this time of year.
Oh, it's just joyous, isn't it?
Family time, love,
Yeah.
puppies,
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Hallmark movies.
Yeah, it's like I can only stand a couple. I love the holidays and I like it and all, but it's like sometimes it's just too much.
You've always told me you like Thanksgiving more than
way
than
better.
Christmas.
I'm like a routine guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I like a routine. I get up early. I like to work out. I like to get my stuff. But then you get like these real long weekends.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I'm having a Coors Light on a Wednesday morning. It's like, what the hell is going on here?
Got it. Okay.
But anyway,
so you need the structure.
I do. Just to stay safe.
So all the times that you mentioned couch drunks, you're actually talking about your own potential
myself.
future.
Yes, I dream about it every night.
Okay.
You got big plans for the holidays now?
Staying local. How about you? You got you got young kids?
No, I'm local. I'm just chilling.
That's always fun at Christmas.
Oh yeah. Christmas time.
Yeah.
My life has changed now.
You got to have stockings. Does Santa Claus come and fill up the stockings?
Oh God.
Santa Claus eat the cookies.
It was just a couple of years ago. I was downtown just hanging out at bars. And then now
instant family.
Now I'm dressed up as Santa Claus, going to bed at like 8:30 at night. I went to the Grand Hotel.
Okay.
And did a little they had a little ice skating rink.
Okay.
Did you ice skate?
No, I did not. They had there was areas.
I would pay to see that.
It was really good areas for children.
When's the last time you ice skated?
I'm from Minnesota, Al, so I'm a hell of an ice skater.
I'm sure you are.
No, my ice skating days were far and few. Oh,
did you play hockey at all?
No, I
Okay.
wish. All my buddies did, but there was an ice rink right down the street from my house.
Right.
But it was outdoors ice rink.
Sure.
And
makes sense.
And so all the guys would go and, we would play boot hockey, which is, hockey without ice skates.
Okay.
Or you would put on the skates,
Sure.
So we would do a little bit of both. But I didn't have hockey skates. I had figure skates with like the whole toe pick.
Got it.
And and they were my dad's old ones, or he bought them for me. And I'm like, why? I don't want figure skates.
Bet you could do a great circle eight.
God, dude. Toe pick, it was so embarrassing. So, that was my.
Did you wear an outfit?
No, I didn't have an
tutu?
outfit. No, didn't have an outfit. Okay. But yeah, I'm still scarred for life.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a good friend from high school that almost played in the NHL. I've been hung out with his buddies, and a few of them
could have been you.
Yeah, got in the show. I'm a bigger guy. 6'4", 220 pounds.
You would have been imposing on the ice.
Yeah, I would have been a killer.
You had to get right in the net and knock it right over. Just see it now.
Yeah, but no, my dad kind of blew that up with the figure skates.
I did go ice skating at the Hotel Del in Coronado. That was maybe 4 years ago.
I thought that was for kids.
I'm
You're the only adult.
I-
You're just chasing the kids.
I was older by 60 years for the years version.
Oh my God, mommy, daddy, who's that creepy old man? The eyes can't be right. He keeps talking about taxes. It's so weird.
That's right. How's your 401k? It's invested, right?
Tell your parents to do a Roth conversion.
Don't spend the Roth money, guard the Roth. I got a lot of words there.
Joe Anderson is a certified financial planner professional. Alan Clopine is a certified public accountant. These fellows are knowledgeable and experienced financial professionals. They're also human.
Not excited about this next question here, Big Al.
It's a little bit more than 2 pages.
Yeah,
and it's
and then when people try to be like cute and funny in their emails, and I'm not a very good reader,
and there's no capital letters and not too many periods, so good luck. Good luck on this one.
And I'm just going to read it how they wrote it. And sometimes we get in trouble for doing that.
Right.
It's not my fault that people don't know how to write a standard email. I suppose we have to like fix it up and fine tune it and put grammar in it.
Well, I don't know, but we do prefer when it's a page or less.
All right, here goes nothing, folks. I apologize in advance if I butchered the hell out of this. We got Roberto from Minneapolis, Minnesota, from the homeland.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, well, that's why I'm reading this, Roberto, because you and I are brothers.
You're probably at least cousins.
At least if he's from Minneapolis,
Yeah.
All right, love the show and very glad I stumbled on it. One of my favorite go-to pods on Q. Jake, our COVID rescue lab, Akita Shepherd American Pit Bull mix, also loves to take along on the journey while listening. Not to worry, nor need to chug-a-lug too many Coors lattes to unwrap yourself from the axles or untwist your tidy whities, since I will not be asking about a Megatron barn door backyard doing. Oh wow! I couldn't believe I got through that.
That was good. That was really good. I'm impressed.
So now you're
apparently he writes like you think.
Yeah. After listening to many shows, not sure if I can air them out, I talked to recently married Michael Chipperfield to do a free assessment thingy. After reviewing and chatting over our situation, he says we are meandering on the golden path to chillin'. Couple of spitball looksies is what we're asking for.
That was supposed to be meandering, by the way, for anybody wondering.
Okay.
Mirandering.
Mirandering.
I like that.
Got to be the same meaning.
It has to be. Have not done any type of conversion since CEO traditional IRA is an
amalgamation of
rollovers, crossovers, transfers, etc. In figuring out pro rata would probably cause us to drink more. Drink of choice, preferably local brewed Pilsner or a properly aged single barrel bourbon or a good Napa Cab or a sultry Oregon Pinot or a gin and tonic.
Oh,
geez.
P.S.
All right. P.S. My God. And more importantly, for Andy, congrats and hats off for the awesome ability and job at corralling these 2 cats on a regular basis. And hopefully that salary raising meeting turned out okay. Salute.
Well,
thanks, Roberto.
Did you catch a question?
No, there's no question.
No question.
He was asking for a second opinion about whether or not Michael Chipperfield did a good job for him, or if you've got any other suggestions.
Well, we don't know what Michael Chipperfield told him. So it's hard to answer. It says, what? Looking for a spitball. Okay. On what? This is great. You did a good job saving.
Well, Michael said that they're on the meandering on the golden path to chillin'. So would you agree?
Well, yeah. Anyone that has this kind of income, this kind of savings, these kind of assets, you're chilling. You're chillax, man.
So, Joe, this is one of those emails where you'd say they just wrote in to brag.
Exactly. That's what Roberto did. He's like, and then he wanted to be funny by throwing out the chillaxing and
when you were reading all the drinks, I was going back to the start. What's the question?
Like, what the hell, man? I think you're good. I think you are good.
What you really need, if you want to know, you need a full financial plan that charts this out from now, because you're young. Chart this out to retirement age and see how it works. 20 plus, 30 plus years and 40 years in retirement. Does this still work? That's what you really need.
Yeah, hire Michael Chipperfield.
Yeah, just get a professional opinion from an attractive CFP. I guess Michael would count for this.
Now there's a quick and easy way to find out how long your money is likely to last in retirement with a complimentary financial blueprint, courtesy of Your Money, Your Wealth, and Pure Financial Advisors. Click the financial blueprint link in the episode description to get started. Input your details, and this tool will analyze your current cash flow, your assets, your projected spending for retirement. It'll then calculate 3 scenarios to help you determine your probability of success. This detailed report even includes future taxes and actionable steps you can take now to achieve your retirement goals. Take control of your retirement future with a financial blueprint today. Click the link in the episode description to get started. Once you're armed with the information you need, consider meeting with one of the aforementioned experienced professionals on Joe and Big Al's team at Pure Financial Advisors for a financial assessment, either in person at one of our several offices around the country or just online via Zoom. The financial blueprint and the human assessment are both free, with the goal of educating and empowering you. The Pure team will help you develop a thorough financial plan that goes beyond the basics, offering guidance that addresses both your unique immediate needs and your long-term retirement vision. At the end of the assessment process, you can decide whether Pure is a good match for your needs and what the next steps look like. Get your financial blueprint and learn more about Pure's financial assessment. Click the links in the episode description to get started.
If you could get a lot of it or even most of it at that age and have all that tax-free growth, I personally wouldn't worry too much about the Oregon tax.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure where you're going with that, bud.
Me neither.
Honest. You were like, well, yeah, let's just assume that you're 70 and you're not living in Washington and moving to Oregon. It's vice versa.
All right.
And
right.
let's just pretend that you have $1 million. And all these hypotheticals that have nothing to do with our boy Ron.
But more than Ron is listening to the show, so I'm giving more color here.
So Ron, let me answer someone else's question,
and then I'll get to yours.
Then I'll get to yours. Oh my God! I was like, oh, where's he going with this one? If you're buying an annuity, but
that's all, folks.
We're all done now.
But in this case, the spousal benefit for child and care doesn't impact your benefits at all whatsoever.
That was pretty hard to follow.
I know it was. I didn't even understand it. I was saying it. It's like,
it looked like you had like a mini stroke.
Who is
you were kind of thinking about that? Let's see.
It's like,
was that first?
Yeah. You know, when you go down a path and you go, I shouldn't really have done that. And it's too late.
It's way too late. It's on the spousal benefit.
Blah, 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 blah. I had to go way outside the box to get back to the box. Yes, I'm aware that didn't make any sense. So you translate it.
You took a U-turn, but that just made a 360. So the spousal benefit on Social Security.
Yeah, let's say you do it.
Okay. You gotta explain what the spousal benefit is. I'm a minimalist.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, Marble Mouth is back. How are we all doing?
Minimalist.
Thank you,
what
sir.
you were trying to say.
All right. Yeah, I got this Celsius going. It's just making my lips just
the
bananas.
The tongue is loose. Okay.
We have been to
Easternmost.
No, thank you. Easternmost point, southernmost point, and the westernmost point, and the northernmost point in the lower 48 states. Okay, so he's been all over the U.S.
Yeah.
Also, we have swam in Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans. The Arctic Ocean swim was after a 600-mile one-way drive on a dirt road to Tukayaka.
And that's in Canada.
It's a really nice place, I heard. Oh boy, this is tough.
Oh, he says, Joe, can't wait until I hear you pronounce it. Let me try it. yak tuk.
Yuka yoka taka. All right, we got Hi Joe, Big Al. My question's about family benefits for Social Security. I've heard this topic addressed in some previous podcasts, but honestly, I felt that you phoned in your answers.
We phoned it in.
Just phoned
I
it
was
in.
in Hawaii. I just phoned it in.
I was like, I could care less about this.
If you have minor children, I think, and all the way up to full retirement age, I think, is that how it goes? So in other words, if you're claiming your benefits,
You're phoning it in.
I'm phoning it in. I better get, where's my lifeline? Where's my lifeline?
Claim your benefits early and you are still working. There's going to be an additional reduction of those benefits as you work. So
Is that true for family benefits?
I
too?
have no idea. I wish you weren't going to ask me that.
Phoning it in.
That's why I asked the guru.
Yeah. I'll figure that out in about 20 years.
When it's important to
You
you.
know, when it's important to me.
Got it.
My wife is on SSDI. Oh, God.
Okay.
We got all sorts of acronyms here.
Social Security Disability Income.
All right. She will be FRA 66
Full retirement
in
age.
4 months.
Yeah, full retirement age. We
All
should
right.
translate these.
Her SSDI will convert to FRB
Full retirement
retirement.
benefits.
Full retirement benefit. Okay.
in March.
Got it.
Question. If he's already using these types of acronyms, I mean, I got to know the answer.
He's testing
He's
it.
just testing us.
He's testing me because it's to me.
Yes.
I'm not trying to know the answer.
Does she have to withdraw her FRB in order to receive DRCs?
What's the DRC?
That's a delayed
Delayed
retirement.
retirement credit.
Okay. My own personal thought is I'm not going to do something like this because I do believe in the viability, only because we've had problems before and it's always been fixed. And I believe we have a vested interest as a country to fix it in the future.
Vote for Big Al. 2024 election.
There you have it. 500 episodes of learning and laughing on Your Money, Your Wealth. Obviously, this show cannot be a show without you. So keep sending in those questions, comments, and retirement spitball analysis requests. Click Ask Joe and Al on air in the episode description. For Joe Anderson, CFP, Big Al Clopine, CPA, and media producer Aaron Townsend, I'm executive producer Andi Last. I'll leave you with these final words and one last ridiculous outtake. We'll see you next week for more retirement planning, investing, and tax reduction made fun on Your Money, Your Wealth.
Yeah, Andy. We're like a family.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And you are definitely like big brothers.
Yeah. We got cousin Eddie in the back.
How do you describe him?
We got cousin Eddie, Aaron in the back. We don't let him talk or to be seen, but
He can talk. He just can't
you
hear him.
just can't hear him.
Yeah, we hear him.
Yeah, we hear him.
That's enough.
All right, that's it for us. We're out of here. Appreciate everyone's emails and questions. Andy, wonderful job. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
And Big Al, good to have you back in studio.
It was fun.
Aaron, terrible job. The cameras, the lighting. Do you want to walk in? You want to say hi? You want to get?
Yeah, Aaron, walk in. No one has seen you. They've seen Joe and I and Andy. Come on, come in right now so we can.
All right.
What are you doing? Get over here. Wait, don't close the show down just quite yet.
All right, there we go.
Oh yeah, you're in the dark.
Yeah,
but we'll
there he is. He's our lighter. He's headlight.
No, I'm just kidding.
Light engineer.
The light's really good.
Yeah,
there.
the light engineer is really killing it.
Oh,
all right, there you go. All right, that's it. We got to take a break. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you next week. Show's got your money well.
Here he goes.
He's lost it. This is a derail.
I don't think I can even use this as a derail.
No way. We'll start over.
Yeah.
You take the laughing part in.
Never seen people laugh so silently.
Just say, these guys don't even know what they're laughing about.
Okay, okay, here we go. Okay, sorry. Deep breath. All right, Let's start over. Okay.
We're not ready.
I think all right. We got Rob from Morristown, New Jersey.
Wow, you actually pronounced the city right this time.
Sorry. It's funny. All right. We got Rob from Morristown, New Jersey. All right. Love your show. And you both are very funny. Oh, boy.
At least we laugh at each other.
Oh, man. You're so funny, Al.
Pure Financial Advisors is a registered investment advisor. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this podcast and does not represent that the securities or services discussed are suitable for any investor. As rules and regulations change, podcast content may become outdated. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the podcast in the process of making a full and informed investment decision.